How's it going, everybody? This is Oral ASMR with another eating video. So today I got Taco Bell. I decided to go back to using my phone because I'm not, and sorry for my squeaky chair, I'm not entirely sure that I want to do the my webcam, but you guys can give me feedback on that and let me know what you guys think. But I got the Mexican pizza. The box is busted up and the cheese is stuck to the cheese is stuck to the top. That's the Mexican pizza. Let's see if I can get in the thumbnail real quick. Okay. So, for this particular video, I wanted to talk about my favorite movies that I watched this year. I give like a summary of each, but now this is going to become a standard on my channel. If you don't buy a blast too, by the way. If you don't want anything spoiled, I'll list, well, if you don't want any of the movies spoiled that I'm going to be talking about, do not, I'll put a spoiler alert. So this is your moment, that the movies I'll be talking about, I will be spoiling them because I can give a brief synopsis. It's hard to do that and have a long video without talking about the videos in full, or talking about the movies, and it's hard to do that without talking about the movies in full. So you know, this is my first time having the Mexican pizza and I'm not impressed. So, the first movie on my list is Across the Spider-Verse. So the first one that I'm going to be talking about is Across the Spider-Verse. So, if you haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, then I guess the spoilers won't really be that big of a deal. Basically, if I remember right, what happens is you know, I'm skipping a lot of oh no, I remember. So he's in this Miles Morales, that's the main character, obviously. He's oh, by the way, I always get 3 soft taco supremes and 1 burrito supreme. I always get that. I add it on the Mexican pizza. I normally get a quesadilla, but I wanted to try something different. Anyways, so he's enrolled in this school, and he's trying really hard to get good grades, be Spider-Man. It felt very reminiscent to like Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, because there's so many responsibilities he has to juggle. And like being a kid, you know, stuff like they're talking about is one of the first scenes is there's some kind of conference between him and his teacher and his parents. And he's like late to that, I believe, because he's talking to the Spots guy, which is like the main villain or whatever. And you eventually learn that when the reactor exploded in the first movie, there was still someone working, or like in the general vicinity or something. It fundamentally changed his body structure. He uses these spots on his body, and he can like teleport through them. And then I'm gonna skip a bunch of details. He comes in contact with Gwen. Gwen takes him. Takes him to like the multiverse. There's like a council, or there's like a conglomerate of Spider-Mans. Many different Spider-Mans from different universes. And it's very reminiscent. Not reminiscent, it's very like analogous to like the Council of Ricks. If you ever watched Rick and Morty, you know, there's like a bunch of Spider-Men, and you know, there's the Hispanic Spider-Man, and then there's other black Spider-Man, and then there's like a Puerto Rican Spider-Man or something like that too. Like, you know, it's pretty cool. Because in the first movie, there's like Peter Parker, there was like the pig, Spider-Man, Spider-Pig. And then there was the Noir, Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig, Spider-Man. And then there was like the Japanese chick with the mech. So basically there's this huge conflict because, and I'm skipping, by the way. Excuse me. By the way, there's a lot of details I'm skipping because I can't remember them. This was like, I don't remember when it came out, but it was closer to the beginning of the year. So, I just can't remember. I remember like the main plot points, but I can't remember like all the minute details that lead up to this point. Excuse me, that Baja Blast is getting to me. Anyways, so they meet the main. Is his name Miguel? I forget what his name is, but they meet the main guy in the that runs the whole like Council of Spider-Man. So you know, if you will. And he basically said that like Miles Morales is he's like a mistake. You know, he wasn't supposed to become Spider-Man. You know, because in the original, you know, his universe, his Spider-Man died, and the Peter Parker that he met was like an alternate dimension. Sorry. The Peter Parker he met was like an alternate dimension Peter Parker, if I remember right. So he was like, the spider that bit you was supposed to bite this other person. So you're a mistake. And when he realizes he's in trouble, he tries to, because basically the whole thing is that he was baited by Gwen to go there. That's why she went there in the first place. And so like, he was running from everybody, dodging. Keep in mind the scene that I'm talking about, there's like 400, there's probably like 400 actual Spider-Men chasing at him at once. Chasing was like the bad guy in the last movie that died. Uncle Aaron, I think it was. Whatever his evil persona was, Miles adopted that in a different universe. So when he went back to a different it's really complicated. I'd recommend you go see it. The conclusion is he's in a different universe than what he left. Like, he didn't go back to his original universe for some convoluted reason that I'm not going to get into because I don't remember the details. Really good movie. I suggest you check it out. It took me 11 minutes to talk about that. I talk a lot. Now, I'm going to probably ramble about this a lot because my second one on my list is Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Now, you may have heard me talk about it in the past. Transformers is unironically, I do not say this with any irony in my body, okay? When I say this, this is pure facts, because fight me in the comments. I don't care what anyone says. Transformers, the whole series I'm talking about, from the original one to Bumblebee to this one, I'm talking about all those movies in between, the older stuff, whatever. I'm talking about the main movies that everyone is aware of, the ones from like 2008 to this point. Those are some of the best movies, and maybe not some of the best movies. They are my favorite. I hold them near and dear to my heart. I love the Transformers series. I love the lore. I'm really into sci-fi. And the concept of battle robots that turn into fancy cars is awesome. To me, that's just an awesome concept. And hate me if you will, but I would put Transformers. I haven't seen all the Fast and Furious movies, but if I watch all the Fast and Furious movies, I'm probably going to like Transformers a lot more. You can find me on it. It's one of the best series of movies that I've watched, and I go back to them and I'm still addicted to the series, even though I recognize that some of them aren't that good and some of them are pure doo-doo garbage. Namely, third, fourth, and fifth one, because this one that I'm about to talk about is really good. But I'm telling you, if you haven't seen Transformers, I implore you to go and watch it. At least get to the second one. Don't care about the other ones. Get to the second one. And once you get to the second one, comment below and see if you like the movies. And if you hate it, don't even watch the third one. If you don't like the first two, I have a similar rule about anime, but I mean, this is a ramble video, but it's not like it's supposed to be specific. My next video is a ramble video. Anyways, so Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. It's a completely new cast. It doesn't have Mark Wahlberg in it. No Shia LaBeouf. No Megan Fox. And actually, I like the direction it took. So I'm going to try and be very succinct with my explanation because we're already 15 minutes. 15 minutes into the video. And we're only at number 2. And I could talk about this movie probably for 10 minutes alone, so let me go ahead and hurry up. So, this is how it works, right? The beginning of the movie, it starts out with our main character. His big concerns because his younger brother is sickly. He's a very sickly guy, right? He's in and out of the hospital. The hospital said themselves, we can't treat him anymore because he's been here too much. You have to pay the balance. Like, we can't accept treatment to treat him because the balance on his account is too big. You have to make a payment before we can treat him. Which, by the way, hospitals, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Hospitals don't do that. I have insurance. I think in the show they don't have insurance. In the movie, I don't think they have insurance. So maybe it's different if you don't have insurance. doesn't refute treatment because you can't pay the fine. Now, I think they'll accept you for emergency treatment, but because it's considered a non-emergency, they can't treat him. But that doesn't make sense because I've been in and out of the hospital so much dealing with my health issues, the stuff that I've talked about in almost all of my videos. So by the way, hi, if you're new here, I have a health condition and I'm still recovering from it. Needless to say, I've been in the hospital a lot. So I've never been like, oh yeah, we can't treat you because you have a stout and a balance. They'll bill you the balance and you can put it through your insurance. But if your insurance mails you the bill, you can just pay a certain amount. You can give them $10 and they'll treat, they're not going to deny you treatment. Anyways, that's a rant. So anyways, I saw that in the movie and it irked me because I know it makes sense for the movie, but I don't comment below if that actually happens. Because I don't believe something like that would actually happen, especially if it's a kid. Anyways, so the whole thing is okay, so the mom is working full-time as a nurse. The older brother, he's this tech guy. He fixed an old school VCR or something or an old school cable box, and he did that for some money. He's doing all these odd jobs for money. He doesn't have a stable job. Basically, he goes to try and get a job working for this warehouse or something like that. Now the guy turns him down because he did a looking into his past. Apparently this guy was dishonorably discharged. The main character was dishonorably discharged from the military, which is a big no-no for the guy he's trying to get hired by, because he says well, you're not a team player. I know you're not a team player. Well, that leads him to go with his buddy to rob a car. Basically, you ever seen in movies where there's a big fancy gala, but the whole point of it is to auction a car off, or not even that. I think it was a gala, but they went there. I thought it was an auction, but I don't think it was that. He basically sneaks into the garage to lift to steal a car. As he's stealing it, the car comes alive, and then you see the emblem, and it's oh, it's an Autobot. Then the car gets out of there. The whole time it's hilarious because the main character's bro, I'm not driving the car. Can you help me get out of here? There's this huge scene, multiple police cars chasing him, and this guy's dodging everybody. He's in a, I think it's a Porsche 911. I might be wrong though. So, what he does is he, so the character, the car's name is Mirage, so he can create duplicates of himself, and it's a really cool scene. Now, they go to this garage, that's when you meet the warehouse, whatever, this bunker. The main crux of the whole thing is that Optimus Prime, he apparently it's taken place during the war for Cybertron, so they stopped off on Earth to refuel 7 years ago, and they've been marooned there ever since. They can't get back to Cybertron. Now, at the beginning of the movie, you learn that there's this thing called the Transwarp Key, which allows you to it's basically like fast travel for video games, but you can do it across space. Okay, you can use it to teleport anywhere. So, what they do, teleport anywhere. Okay, so basically this is it. The whole point of the movie is that Optimus Prime is trying to get the Transwarp Key so they can eventually go home. The problem is, there's this bad dude who's for Unicron, and if you don't know who Unicron is, this is why I'm super into the lore. I have been begging, not publicly, but in private, like talking to people. I have been like so frustrated that like Transformers didn't make movies like according to the lore. They take the concept and then flip it on its head and try and make it appealing to adolescents. Like, they wouldn't actually go to the main source material to try to make a movie. It's like, it was so frustrating. Like, Bumblebee was good, but that's not, they like reinvented a prequel. Like, they did a prequel, but like reinvented Bumblebee with a different character than, like, you know, Sam. And I understand Shia LaBeouf and all that, but I'm just like, okay, whatever. So at the end, I'm gonna skip a lot. This video is gonna get way too long. I'm skipping a lot because I need to get to the other movies. So the whole point of the movie is that they're trying to get the transwarp key before this servant of Unicron, because he's gonna use the transwarp key to destroy the universe because he eats planets to live. He's like Galactus, okay? He's basically Galactus. And end of the movie, basically they work as a team. At the very end of the movie, my voice is starting to go out. At the very end of the movie, you find out that they're gonna do like a sequel with like G.I. Joe, because then there's someone that hires him, and they basically know about the Transformers and all that stuff, so they're gonna do like Hasbro apparently is gonna do a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover movie. I hope they do that. I think it's an awesome concept. So the next movie I watched is Oppenheimer. I'm not going to go too deep into this one because I'm going to do a full Oppenheimer breakdown. I'm going to do some research, get the full story, so I can break down in an entire video the story of Oppenheimer, because I'm very interested in the movie, in the story, because the movie was so good. It intrigued me. Now I want to learn more about history. You know who Oppenheimer is. Manhattan Project, Los Alamos, built the bomb, blew up some Japanese, and brought our boys back from the war. They say that in the movie, you know, because Hitler, bad guy. Okay. John Wick 4. I love all the John Wicks. I think it's great. It's a pretty standard John Wick movie, though. They overplay it. It's the same thing. People are trying to kill him. He's like, basically, he's evading death. You know, guy evades death harder than like everybody, than anyone I ever known. So, Erskine. So he's evading death a lot, and at the very end of the movie, he does this. There's a lot of implications I'm skipping, and it's because I don't want this video to get too long. Because the next movie I'm going to talk about is going to take me at least 10 minutes to talk about, or at least 5 or 6 minutes to talk about, and I don't know exactly how long I have until this camera's going to cut out. So, John Wick 4 ends with John Wick dying. Sorry if that broke your heart, but there's not a lot to talk about because it's a standard John Wick movie. Like, you know what John Wick movies are? It's like, there's a big, like, inconvenient thing that happens at the beginning of the movie. Then there's something really inconvenient that happens in the middle of the movie. But throughout the whole movie, he's escaping death, killing a bunch of people. And then you know what the result is at the very end? It all works out. That's all John Wick movies. Okay, maybe not 1 to 2, but 3 to 4 was definitely like that. Comment below on any of these points in these movies if you disagree. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I may be scuffing a lot of details, but you know, I don't really care. I think it's a good movie. So had to make sure I was still rolling. my favorites out of this entire list. God damn, okay. My favorites out of this entire list has to be either Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's between Across the Spider-Verse. Honestly, all of these were my favorites. That's why they're my favorites movies that I watched this year. Is because, oh my god, bro, like, I love all these movies almost equally the same. My favorites were Guardians of the Galaxy and Oppenheimer, and then Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Because Oppenheimer was more engaging than Transformers Rise of the Beasts. But I cared more about Guardians 3 because of the contents of Guardians 3. Okay, so you remember the second movie? The race of people that, you know, Rocket stole the batteries from. One of those bros comes after Rocket. And the reason is because there's this dude called the High Evolutionary who creates a species to try to create the perfect species. He's a eugenicist. He's basically Hitler, okay? Except instead of saying we need to eradicate everyone who isn't this, he does the opposite. He said we need to create the perfect being. And when they're not perfect, he kills them. So he genetically engineered Rocket. Rocket became super smart, fixed a problem that none of his scientists could fix, no one ever created. So he wanted Rocket's brain because he wanted to understand why he's so smart so he can replicate it. Rocket eventually gets away from that situation and goes to live, you know, and then eventually when he meets up with all the Guardians and stuff, right? But basically, in the beginning of the movie, old boy who's the you know, he's the son of that queen of the golden people. He takes Rocket. No, that's not what happened. They get into a fight, and Rocket has this metal plate or something in his chest or something, and so he can't be like healed. But then there's a key to get the specific, or no, it's not. I'm sorry. There's a bomb on his heart, and there's a specific key code to disable it so he can get healed by this thing that gets wrapped on you because he gets hurt in the scuffle. The whole movie is they're trying to get the key so that they can save Rocket. They have to go to the High Evolutionary to get that key because he keeps the keys on him and all that stuff. The reason he puts a bomb in all of the people, everything he experiments hard, he can blow them up if they ever get disobedient and all that. So, basically, this guy's a psychopath. He spent the whole movie trying to, like, save Rocket. It's really sad because you learn that Rocket had friends who are other animals that got experimented on. And if you guys have seen the movie, Floor is creepy. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if you think it's cute. I don't care if you think it's like endearing and adorable. She's creepy. She creeped me out. And I'm scared of her. If I see her in my dreams, I will freak. Anyways, so basically, his friends died at the hands of this High Evolutionary guy. Oh, my phone's running out of battery. Okay. So they died at the hands of this High Evolutionary guy, and he blames him for that, obviously. And it's awesome because at the end of the movie, he scratched. Well, no, not that. He scratched his face up after he killed his friends, which in the moment you're like, yes, Rocket, oh my god. So he scratches the High Evolutionary's face up. And I love this quote at the end of the movie. He's like, he peels off his, because he gets his skin, you know, pulled back, and he's like, because he doesn't understand after he lost everything. The High Evolutionary is like, bro, I was just trying to make everything perfect. He's like, you weren't trying to make everything perfect. You just hated how everything was. so much for watching this video. I'm gonna finish this. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. I gave you some relaxing tingles. You know what? If you will, please watch some more of my videos. Give me a comment, a like, a share. All the support from you is I need. That'd be awesome. If you feel a little bit more generous and you'd like to, donate, I always have my PayPal link in the description. Don't feel obligated. It's just there if you'd like. And you'd be helping a brother out, because I'm gonna start saving up for a camera. I'll have more content coming out soon. Sorry for the delay in content, but I've just been, figuring some stuff out and getting some stuff situated. I'm about to build a schedule and get some more content out. But everyone have a blessed day. Good evening. Good night. Hope you're well relaxed. Have a great one. My phone just died. And my phone just died. Yay.